Previously on Handbook for Mortals. I am the dominant alpha. You know, you should consider Sherry's own thoughts and feelings on the matter.
I have my own thoughts? Feelings? What? I don't understand.
Welcome back to this month's installment of Handbook for Mortals. Before we get to our main story tonight, let's check in with Sherry for her love report. Sherry?
I still hadn't quite made a decision in regards to my personal life.
Fascinating. Thanks for the update there, Cher. Yes, several more weeks have flown by, and she tells us how frustrated she's been. You see, the cards have yet to make the decision outright because, man, what a sense of agency to Sherry. She remains confident in the heart of the cards, thinking,
this was the cards' way of insisting that I needed to learn a lesson about making my own decisions. I had learned over the years that sometimes the cards insist you learn lessons. This is what each of our lives is about, learning lessons to become a better being. Your soul can't evolve until you've learned whatever life lesson it is you need to learn.
Thanks! I feel like I've learned so much! Anyway, Sherry's digging around with her hair and makeup at her little prep space. The show graciously provides Sherry with any and all products she could ever possibly want. She's got every type and color of whatever hip brand of makeup and nail polish in existence, including some extra fun eyeshadow palettes. What constitutes fun, Sherry? Alright, so she's sitting there at her station, mixing palette colors together, experimenting with 4 kinds of brand name hair curlers, and slathering her face with random moisturizers just to see what felt nice. In other words, homegirl's going all Bob Ross on her face, looking like a right old clown, before Joaquin Phoenix made it cool. Again. Okay, when I read this section, I had to just stop and put the book down, for I was downright shook. Yes, all the signs were in the brightest of neon lights, but this is the apotheosis of Sherry's hypocrisy for me. In previous chapter videos, I've had quality comments and discussions concerning Sherry's character. She rejects her own beauty, but humbly accepts that the others in her hometown regard her as beautiful. The same people who rejected her and her mom as devil worshippers, mind you. She'll go on shopping sprees at the mall for form-flattering outfits that accentuate her just curvy enough physique, but won't overdo it with a total girly girl style. She'll judge the thirstiness of other women in a crowd, but will join in the revelry if she's got the approval of her male harem. She'll proclaim herself higher than women who allow themselves to be picked up by strangers at bars, but prefers to embrace that flattery than commingle with the actual colleagues she originally went to hang out with. We're halfway through this book, and she has yet to form a bond with any other woman that lasts longer than a chapter. Women are props to bolster Sherry up with. When you get right down to it, Sherry blatantly rejects femininity in other women, but relishes in it herself. And that hypocrisy is the appeal of this book to me. I've mentioned in my discussion comments a few times that Sherry's character could be a compelling study in the hands of a competent writer, but then I would be ignoring the intrigue that is right in front of me. The author just wrote her adult-ass self-insert playing with a treasure trove of beauty products as if she were a child who just found mommy's makeup for the first time, like it's no big deal. That is f***ing hilarious. This is a fascinating train wreck character study in its own right, and I cannot look away from it. It is the saving grace of this shitstorm of a book. The one thing that's keeping it from boring me to utter tears. E.L. James's misogyny is frustrating and depressing to consume. Lanny Sam's contempt shoots the moon into fun-hate hilarity. Okay, anyway, Sherry's all painted up and ready to rob Gotham City Bank, but sitting back and staring at her reflection for a long while fills her with a wave of anxiety. Because reasons. so she rests her pretty little head to calm her random outburst of nerves. Alright. But suddenly, Jackson appears and knocks her off guard and out of her narratively convenient panic episode.
I'm not used to people surprising me, so I was startled.
I know. I just saw you practically leap out of your seat. You don't need to be more redundant than usual, hun. Jackson removes his sunglasses, $50 says that they're aviators, and settles himself near her. Sherry asks, "What's up?" And instead of giving us a little small talk, any kind of tete-a-tete that's severely lacking between these two, Jackson jumps right into inviting her to his next gig tonight. Sherry apologizes and declines, saying she's occupied with a new illusion she's developing with Charles. Sharam tells us that Jackson's totally bummed, but they agree to take a rain check, so it's cool. He kisses her forehead, it charms the shit out of her, and he pieces out. Okay. So, Jackson legit enters with a purpose, then immediately cheeses it once he got what he came for. No cordial small talk, no commenting on the state of her clown face, nope. Hey, you free tonight? Nope. What about next week? Okay, dope, bye! Other than that, hey, Sherry's doing a work thing with Charles. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to more of that dynamic, and I mean that for realsies. Like, I'm still waiting for that follow-up to that cliffhanger ending way back from chapter 2. And I'm gonna be real with you, I got a kink, so just indulge me with more creepy daddy long legs, please, and thank you. Anyway, Jackson leaves, but oh no, he forgot to grab his sunglasses! So Sherry snags them and sets off to hunt Jackson down and return them. Along the way, she encounters Charles and Zeb in the hall amidst a heated discussion. Sherry admits to us that she couldn't help but stare and try to hear what it was about. I always jump to the conclusion that something is about me, so that's where my mind went first. Yeah, that checks out. Zeb's worried about the status of something and not knowing what that thing means. Charles sounds equally grievous, but implores Zeb to just let things play themselves out. Zeb concedes to him, but insists that Charles might not understand the gravity of the situation. While this is going on, Nosy Nancy over here doesn't even try to hide behind a corner or anything. She just chills right there, dead set in the hallway, to eavesdrop. Like, they're not T-Rexes, girl. At least get a cardboard box or something. They're gonna see you standing there. And guess what? They do. Charles is like, "Hey, girl, everything's fine. Just some silly magician troubles. Oh, LOL. Okay, yo, Zeb, let's take this conversation back to my office. Okay, bye, Sherry." And the two of them leave Sherry standing there like a dumbass in the hallway. She's like, "Huh, that's weird. I should look into that sometime. Another thing to add to the to-do pile. Under Love Life, but probably above Lamborghini Mystery Girl." A few days later. So I guess that shit's just dropped now. Okay. Tad, Mac, and Sherry are clocking out. Sherry feels a weird stiffness in her back with pain shooting down her leg, otherwise known as a cramp for us humans. And she stretches it out. Cam comes over and the guys are all stoked for their upcoming camping trip. Oh no. Oh god, we better not have another camping trip chapter. I swear to God, I can't handle another one. Ugh. But Sherry's gotta break the news to Mac that she still has to work with Charles and can't join her harem, even though the trip was her idea to begin with. Sherry feels guilty because Mac's been stressed all week with continuous equipment failure. It's reached the point where it's hindering the shows now, and I'm like, alright, a payoff. It's being told to me, but there's something here that's being followed through. My bar has plummeted so far, the absolute bare minimum is a laudable accomplishment. That's where we are now. So yeah, Sherry breaks the news to Mac, and he's rather pissy about it for 30 seconds, but then he's all better when his mistress throws him a bone with promises of a home-cooked meal when he returns. Okay. But I'd like to jump back to Mac's hissy fit. I find it rather humorous that Mac, the guy who supposedly highly values safety, a jack-of-all-trades type who's hands-on and takes his job as the technical director, very seriously adopts a grumpy tone and asks, "So, you're gonna spend your only 2 days off rehearsing with Charles while everyone else is camping?" And Sherry admonishes the technical director, replying,
"Mac, you know we both have times when work gets in the way. Times where you have to stay really late because something was broken. It's not that I don't want to go. I do want to go. I just can't this time. I was hoping you would be a bit more understanding. I know you know where I'm coming from and how this happens."
Mac, the anal retentive not really boyfriend who has more than a decade's worth of experience, is a sad boy and apologizes to the novice that is lecturing him. Okay. The next paragraph following that promise of a home-cooked dinner reads,
"The time went by quickly, and before I knew it, the 2 days off were over and everyone was back from the camping trip."
My exact words after reading that sentence was, "Wait, what?" Yeah, we jump straight to that night Mac returns from camping. So then, why was this whole little camping micro-conflict a thing? Just to have Sherry play the bigger holier-than-thou workaholic just long enough to put the actual workaholic in his place? Wow, what a bitch. So we're at Sherry's apartment and she's cooking beef stew. The doorbell rings and Sherry notes to us the sense of normalcy she feels in cooking dinner for her sorta man, except not really, whom she's still uncertain on whether to commit with. To quote Sherry's own wise words, weird. But she revels in the domesticity, gliding across her apartment to answer the door. We get a detailed description of Mac's Ted Mosby ensemble, and he's quick to scoop her up into an embrace, proclaim how much he's missed her, how he wanted to dress up just for her, and throw in another hug and kiss. How have they not committed yet? Okay. Mac enters the apartment and spots a little table where Sherry dumps her mail and keys and shit. You know, we all got one of those. He hones in on show tickets from David Copperfield's show, which Charles had taken her the night before, and a picture of Charles and her at a table of a 4-star restaurant where they ate after the show. Whoa! That's right. Not only do we just blaze right on past Charles and Sherry work-related shenanigans, we also missed out on reading how they interact outside of that professional setting. Are you kidding me? Why weren't we privy to this? Sherry having quality bonding time with someone who doesn't want to worship or curse her, as far as we know of, or don't know of in this case, is something I would have really wanted to read. Truly! Sherry turned down dates with both of her love interests in the same chapter in favor of hanging out with her mysterious boss, a man we've only seen a couple of times, whom we know next to nothing about, and we don't see what comes of that? Really? Really? Okay. My poor microphone. Mac gets suspicious over it, and it's pretty awkward. He's like, "What the hell? I thought you were busy working, but you had time to go to a dinner and a show?" Rose Scholar Sherry doesn't understand Mac's concerns, and tosses them aside in favor of lightening the mood. She bats her pretty little eyelashes, all like,
"A girl's gotta eat, and Charles was just being nice and thankful by inviting me to the show, which was also good research material."
Like, it's pretty evident that Mac immediately gauges the possibility of something going on between Sherry and Charles. I think it's telling that he jumps to this possibility. We don't know much about Charles, but we've certainly seen glimpses of his cavalier nature. Sherry also mentions that he hit on the photographer girl at the 4-star restaurant. We know Charles has a taste for pretty young women. Mac's reaction can be read as concern. The boss already has one pretty trophy, maybe he's set his sights on another, and one Mac cares for. Another possible way to look at it, Mac just suspects Sherry's opportunistic, a la Sophia. So our hyperbolic options are either Charles is a potential predator or Sherry's a slut. Not great. And yet, as I sit here and recall that Mac's big dick dominance display from last chapter was a thing, I'm gonna cease any further attempts to decipher Charles's character and just place my bet on the slut-shaming option. Yeah, that's probably the right one. Sherry finally asks what Mac's implying with his mini interrogation, and Sir Mac the coward's like, "It's nothing." He pulls Sherry close to him again and changes the subject, being like, "What's for dinner tonight, baby?" End of chapter. So, this was pretty much missed opportunities, the chapter. The whole thing built up Sherry's need to spend extra time with Charles in order to develop this new illusion. She's mentioned it twice, rejects her suitors in favor of creepy daddy longlegs in 2 separate scenes. And Sarum has the sheer audacity to skip it. And I'll tell you what, that is such an alpha troll move. Oh my god. Congrats, Sarum. You bamboozled me yet again. Way to go.
Why, hello there. So nice of you to drop by. If you'll please become utterly entranced by this crudely drawn hip swiveling, I'd like to deliver my ending spiel. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, and how can you not, look at these hips go, please consider supporting me on my Patreon, where you can get 1 day early access to all upcoming videos, as well as the entire uncut audio of book reviews. You can hear me yap for almost double the amount of time! You can also vote for the next novel for me to suffer through, or enjoy. I'm at y'all's mercy after all. I can even draw sketches for you at child labor prices. Oh! I jest. Kinda. If you're unable to support me on a subscription basis via Patreon, and I totally understand, I also have a Ko-fi page tip jar for your instant generosity needs. You do you, boo. No judgment. Finally, a like and subscribe still goes a long way. I'm eternally grateful for any and all support. You may now peel your eyes away from this sexy, sexy penguin body. Remember to stay hydrated, friends, and take care.